Hi everyone, and as usual, it's Sunday, so happy Sunday, and I am live. Today, I'm using a really special um, plugin to really go live. So I'm not sure how it's working, but yeah, if this video has came up in your feed on the YouTube, then it's just a live session that I do on Sundays. So welcome and feel free to join me during Sundays because it's the most fun day to really have some conversation. The reasons I do live session is of course to really reduce and minimize the communication gap between me and my community so that I can avoid all the video processing time and can really directly communicate to my community and can talk to them, and in case you have any questions you can also ask me directly. It helps me to also understand you. At the same time, it helps me to really speak up with you face to face directly, even if I cannot see you. So, hi, I can see one person joining my live session. So, not sure how you're seeing this live session. It's just a new platform I'm using at this moment to go live. So, yes. So, today I thought maybe I can continue using the chat GPT to really explore ways I can learn German language and can really use this platform for free. So I'm sure that now most of you are already aware of it, what ChatGPT is, and at very small like time frame, they have got like more than 1 million people using it. So, which means that sometimes if you are like really trying to join in and create your account in ChatGPT, it might be overloaded or it will give you messages like at capacity, but then you can just wait and can log in maybe in the early hours or in the late night. So I will be now popping in this chat GPT link in the chat. So in case you are not aware of it, you can go ahead and sign in there. So as I have said, if you have any question, I will entertain it at the end of this live session. So you can feel free to write it down in the comment section, or even once this video goes live, you can do that still. And yeah, so if you're new and watching this video, then hi, my name is Priyesh and I make videos related to Europe and especially life in Germany. So if you're interested, then subscribe, continue being here, and I will do my best to provide information and entertain you. So yeah, so without any further ado, as I'm using this new plugin, hopefully I will be able to share my screen as well today and can really give you good information on how you can use ChatGPT to learn German language. So let's now show my other screen. So now with this, I guess you can see my ChatGPT screen as well. So here I will go ahead. So there are many ways how you can learn German language. So the way I would like to suggest you is to, of course, buy like a book or even download some application, because different people has different ways of how they learn a language or anything in life, because not everyone is same. So book can really gives you like a very organized and structured way of learning a language. But then if you are downloading like application, you can really be like up to date, like can really rehearse and can have something on your fingertips to really practice it rigorously. So this is what I would suggest, and that's how what we were learning so far. But if you want to, of course, level up your game, I would suggest you should always have like a personal tutor through which you are able to converse in German language and can really practice and can correct at the same time with the help of tutor your pronunciation and if any grammatical or vocabulary mistakes you are doing. So what I would suggest that this chat gpt I have found out it's equivalent to like a personal tutor, and now in this video I will show you how it is. And this is why I really like my live session, because I can really talk to you immediately, provide you the information at the same time without any delay in information because of the video processing. So, and you can see me live, and at the same time, I can also challenge myself to be like more proactive, maybe more spontaneous. So yeah, so the first way you can really practice is by asking chat gpt. So of course there are like basic questions that I will be asking it at the end of this video about the ways you can like learn German language, etc., and I can give you my views on it. But as you know, like ChatGPT is also learning, so what questions you are asking now can be changed after a few months because the data is feeding continuously to the system and the machine is learning, right? Like this is how ChatGPT, which is a chat box, really learns. So the first question I would suggest you that through which you should be practicing is by asking ChatGPT, tell me story in A1 language. So it depends like what level you are at German language. So what I would be doing is asking, um, write me a story. So usually since this page is open for a while, I have to always refresh it. Otherwise it doesn't reply. So write me a story in A1 German language. So let's see what comes up. And yeah, so sometimes if it's not so fast, it takes time. So I can see still quite slow, but hopefully we'll be able to reply soon. Maybe meanwhile, what I could do, I can also ask some other questions so we can really save time and you don't get bored, right? So this is just one way, right? Like you can ask ChatGPT at whatever level you are to give you like some small kid level like language stories, because reading stories or maybe poems in a simple language can really make you rehearse and really be more fluent at the language, because that's how we learn as a kid, right? This was also one of the suggestion I have received from people like emigrating to Germany, that they really able to learn German fast in just like 6 to 8 or even 1 year, like they reach to C2 level because they are referring to like storybooks of like kindergarten, like small kids of age like 3 to 4 years, and that's how able to like really practice German, but at a very not like through like through tough stories, but like knowing German by just easy sentences. So here, as you can see, ChatGPT has already started writing it. So what I would be doing as usual, like my previous live, I will be putting all these answers in the comment section so that you can also rehearse. So you can see it's quite slow, but it's replying. So I'm quite happy with it. So this is what like through which you can really learn a language. The other way you can really rehearse the language is by doing a small conversation, right? So if you do not have a tutor, it could be very difficult for you to learn any language. So you can actually ask ChatGPT to have like a conversation with you. And it's not just about German language. Even if you have to be fluent in English or maybe in French, you can do the same thing. So the second way of learning language using GPT is by just asking that if they can do a simple conversation, or so either you can ask him to like talk to you one to one, or you can also ask him to like write a conversation in that language. So what I would be writing in here, so I'm not sure my first answer how long it will take to answer it, but meanwhile let's do the other question. So write me conversation in A1 German language about 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 a talk with salesperson at a clothing store. Let's see what it will talk about. You can see now it started writing the conversation happening between like the customer and also with the salesperson. And these are the things you can really then print it out, write it down in your notebook, and then can rehearse on every day to day basis. What I would also suggest, you can also use platforms like Natural Reader, so where you can easily copy paste this reply and can let that portal talk it out, so they can speak it as well, and then you can really listen to it. So there are many free portals where you can simply copy paste this and let that software really read it out loud, and you can also hear it as well. So this is like a conversation. Similarly, if you are going for like a job interview, you can do the same thing. But again, like, right, I will talk about it later in this live session. Let's just stick to this point of how you can learn German language. So we have covered these stories, and then we are covering about the conversation. I have to go back to see if there are any more people joining. So I can see there are two people joining. So hi and happy Sunday. So yeah, so these are two ways you can learn German language. The other thing you can do is ask him to really talk with you, so you can start having conversation. So I have never tried it. Let's try that if it's able to reply to me in some different language. Let's see. So I can see it's talking to me. So I asked him, how are he doing? So like, what's up? So it's V Gates. He's saying Mir Gates is good. So one thing is that, of course, V Gates is quite like, usually we say V Gates dear. And of course, if you're speaking German in a more casual manner, you always say V Gates, like, what's up? So here I'm seeing that his written language is quite good and correct. It's not like slang way of answering. So he's replying, mir geht's, it's good. Danke der Nachfrage. Wie geht it's Ihnen? So how am I doing now, right? So in that way, I can continue talking to him. So I can say, is geht's good? Danke. So let's see what he replies back. So what you could do if you do not have a tutor, you can really in this way talk to a person and can really he can reply to you in a correct manner. So this is how it's like the other way you can practice your German language. Maybe in future I will also post a video on this because I found it quite interesting and it's more people should be knowing it on how they can really use this ChatGPT, which is actually free at this moment, and they can get like continuous conversation and can really rehearse the language. The third way how you can really take help of ChatGPT to learn German language is by asking him that to correct something, right? So you can ask him, can you help correct the below German sentence? I cannot like put it on this question because it's still typing over here. So once he finish, as it's now finished, I can pop in the other question, or I can just ask him to stop generating. And now I will pop in here the another question. And as I said to you, if the screen is open, it sometimes gets hang, so it's not able to generate. So I have to refresh this page. Then let's see what it says. So I asked him, can you help correct the below German sentence? Sure, please provide the sentence that needs correction. So let's make, what should I write? Mir Gates. So I made a spelling mistake on the Gates. And let's good und du. Let's see what happens. So this is quite interesting. So if you have like an essay or a paragraph you have written, you can actually put it in there and it will provide you a correction there. So to me, sometimes when I'm like really having a conversation with ChatGPT, I feel like it's a friend. And sometimes I also feel like there is a human being there. So I found it quite interesting, and especially after pandemic, while we are all are started mostly maybe studying from home or even working most of the times from home, it just sounds like I'm just talking to another colleague or like my teacher or tutor online. So here it says a sentence is mir geht's gut und du, which means I'm doing well and you. It is already written in correct German, although it is informally written. So as you have seen, it has corrected my spelling over here, and it's also providing me some like further inputs on the sentences to really give like this human touch in here. So this is like the third way on how you can really get better at learning any language, not just German. Then you can do similar with English language as well. So sometimes if I have to like see that whatever email I'm writing is correct or not, And of course, you should be always cautious about not putting anything confidential here, because the machine then input it as its data, and will your confidentiality things will be on internet. So be careful about it. But if you're writing like any email to university or to your applying for a job, you can just ask him to like correct it. So I will talk about the job part maybe in the next live session. Maybe I will keep this session more related to on how you can learn German language or any other language by using ChatGPT. And as it's free for now, why not just maximize it and use it? So the fourth way you can really learn is by, so the way you can really learn any language, so as if you recall like how in your childhood you were learning languages, of course you were having conversation, you were reading books, you were being corrected by your parents or your siblings, right? So here all these things are being done by ChatGPT. So it's correcting your sentences, it's giving you a script for on how you can do like a simple conversation, which I have done already in the first part. So whatever chat information you have already, it has generated for you. You can always find it on the left side and you can go back there. But yeah, so it's able to like create stories for you. So I've asked him to create a stories. It did it. Then I asked him that please create like a conversation between like a salesperson and customer. It did it. So in those ways, you are able to rehearse the German language, right? Then it's able to also correct at the same time if you're asking him to do it. Then the fourth way on how you can learn a language and how we do as a child is by watching movies and listening to our stories, right? So not stories, songs. So we can also ask. So now I will come to like generic questions. I will ask him that please suggest me some movies to watch for A1 level German speaker. So let's see what kind of movie list it will be generating. And now similar thing, I will be asking him to do it for even songs. And as I already said, I will be putting all these responses after this video will be going live. So here I can just change from movies to songs. And this is how you can get like really fluent at any language. So these are like some questions I will be asking him, and let it suggest me something. So I can see that it's writing now. I don't know why, but it seems that today it's quite slow, or maybe it just gets frightening like to him to answer anything about German language. So maybe it could be that's the reason it's getting slow today. Um, so I can see many people are joining. So hi, Vishwas, Prabhakar. I guess you are first time joining my live session, or at least first time commenting. So guten Abend. You got this. So cool. So these are some movies you can go ahead and watch. And I can see there is like a constant reply that he has. So this was the same reply he gave me 1 week ago, and he's doing the same today. But a week ago, he was also describing a little bit about these movies. So I can choose which one I want to watch. So the first one here is the Das Sams. Then you can go through it. And maybe for me, maybe I will watch Rapunzel. Okay, good. So now I will ask him another question. Please suggest me some songs to watch for A1 level German speaker. Let's see what kind of songs it will suggest. Now quite fast, as if he has heard me already complaining. So these are some songs you can listen to it. I think I have heard Ishville and it's quite nice. So you can, yeah, so I will write all these answers in the comment section and hopefully it will help you. And let me know if you will try listening to one of these songs or if you have already listened some of them. Then, so these are my fourth and fifth ways of how you can learn a language. Then you can also ask him like, give me a list of commonly spoken German sentence in day-to-day life. So let's see what. I hope that it won't take centuries to finish this reply, but let's see. Here are some common German sentences used in daily life. Guten Morgen, wie geht's, is there. So as I said, is there is more like a correct way of saying things. We don't say it. We always shorten it. So then these are some of the sentences you can really already know before coming to Germany, or if you're here, should know it at least in 3 to 6 months. At least these are the basic ones, and you can then rehearse, go out and rehearse. So one thing I'm really liking about this list is that it's not only like telling you Guten Morgen, but also giving you like an English translation in the bracket. So because he knows that you have asked a question in English language, so means you don't really speak German, so he needs to like really explain it. So it's quite nice. So in this way, you can really quickly learn language. And as I said, you can copy paste in some platforms, and it you can also read it out loud. So your pronunciation is also correct. So now let's move on further. There are some questions I still want to ask him before like closing this entire session on how you can learn German language. So one important thing is, of course, I want to ask him how to learn German language for free. So let's see what ChatGPT will tell me now. So here are some ways to learn German for free. So these are like some applications, as I have said in the beginning of this live session. There are some apps are quite helpful to really have something on your like fingertips to really look, rehearse, and go through like your day-to-day like practice session if you have just like 5 minutes time. But apart from that, you need like a book, and also maybe through the help of ChatGPT, you can really do much better progress and more or in a more organized way. So here you can see it has listed down ways you can use like these platforms to learn German for free. One thing I have noticed, so let's go through this answer and see if there is like a loophole or a gap in here. So let's see how intelligent it is, right? So I can see Duolingo. That's good. I really like Duolingo, but it really lacks like a very organized way of learning language. So if you have to learn something by heart, that's a good platform. But I don't find it so nice. Then you have Memorize. I have never used this platform. So Deutsche Welle. So the one of the things, and I would like to put it on the list, on the top of this list, is the Deutsche Welle, where they are having like podcast videos and some working well, like exercises for free, which you can really refer to. Then open culture, YouTube. So I have tried YouTube as well. It's not so nice there. But yeah, it's like it's my reflection. And of course, it can differ to you. Then German Pod 101, German language textbooks and audio resources from public libraries, online language exchange communities, then news in German and language learning group on Facebook and Meetup. So, as I have already said in one of my previous videos, ways you can learn language, there are like some events organized within the university, like STEM Stitch, where you can go and attend those sessions. They can be in some different languages. It could be in Italian, French, or even German. So there people get together over beer and they actually exchange languages. And this can also be such events can also be organized by expat groups or even at city level. So you don't have to be just a student to join such session. So I think that this list is quite good, and maybe ChatGPT should also include itself in this list. So from my understanding, it's a good list. So maybe sometimes these answers by ChatGPT could sound very generic. So you can go ahead and ask him more further inputs on it. So let's go ahead. As for the German language textbook, it was quite generic. So let's ask him, tell me some best German language books. So maybe let's see what it will reply. Books to learn German fast. Oh, made a mistake. Learn German fast. You want to learn German fast. Okay, cool. So it's now quite fast. Here are some popular German language books for learning fast. So I have the one that I have is by Huber. So let's see if it will list it down here. So I don't see my book over here, and these are books I guess is new for me, except the one here, German All in One for Dummies, and 1001 here, this one. But rest for me also is quite new. So this is all the list. So as I said, if sometimes ChatGPT is quite like generic, so you can always ask that, okay, which YouTuber to watch or what books to really refer to. Let's see then which YouTubers to watch to learn German faster. Good. I'm really enjoying it. Let's see what it replies. Okay. So easy German. I know this person. Learn German with Anya is also good. Then I don't know about learn German easily. German unbox, never heard. German with Jenny, yes. Or Jenny. German girl in America, never heard. Then Deutsche Welle for sure. Highly recommended. Then I don't know the other ones. So maybe we can try, like if you're a beginner, can try German slow, easy. So could be something for beginners. So I really hope that you have enjoyed watching like these questions and how ChatGPT is able to really answer it nicely. And I can see that it's really changing its answer over a week. It's adding all the missing points already. So it's really learning faster. So these are some ways you can really up level your German language skill. If you're still on this live session, I can also go ahead and can ask maybe some more questions to him, which is quite like normal. Like you, if you're in Germany, you want to know about it. So let's ask him and see if there are some gaps in there. So, one thing I can see that this could be helpful to have ChatGPT is during the interview. So you can ask him questions that, okay, so let's say that I'm going for a job for related to consultancy, and let's ask what kind of interview questions it will be asked there. So let's see. Um, Provide me list of questions that will be asked in an interview. Maybe in Germany. Let's see what it replies. It's generic or is it specific to German country? So let's see. Here are some common questions that may be asked in a job interview in Germany. Can you tell us about your previous work experience, strength and weakness? If are you interested in particular job? I see that this list is quite common. I don't see it like specific to Germany or to some country. These questions are also asked in India, so I don't see that it's very like different answers here. Let's ask question, do I need to speak German language to work in Germany? And I'm sure it will again reply very generic question that it depends on the job profile, etc. So let's see. So as I said, if it's very generic reply it's giving you, just ask more questions. So it depends on the job and the level of German language required. For many jobs in Germany, particularly in customer service or administrative roles, a basic to intermediate level of German is often required. However, for some jobs in international companies or in English speaking industries, a good level of English may be sufficient. So from my understanding, especially jobs that doesn't need like customer facing roles where you're not really talking to like clients, customers could be C2C, means customer to customer, or even B2B, then you are good to go. If you just have to communicate internally within your companies, you don't need to even know the language like German language, because usually German people who are in the corporate world, they can speak pretty good English. So, especially for people who are in the IT firms like SAP, they don't even like need to speak German language, even within their own offices. I have been there for some workshops while I was studying, and I have seen and heard people was mostly using English language. So you hear English even in their campus. In general, having a good level of German is considered a valuable asset in the job market in Germany and can improve your chances for finding employment. It is also important to be able to communicate effectively with colleagues and customers. So, being able to speak language is an advantage in many cases. Of course, knowing the language opens up like you can really apply to not only like bigger international firms but also like to small startups where you can really easily get jobs. So of course you need to know the language. So as you can see, it sometimes gives you some like suggestion which feels like your big sister or big brother type suggestion. So I really liked it, and that's why I'm like frightful that in future these type of chat box will be able to replace YouTubers, unless you really want to have like a person sitting like this and talking and sharing my own experiences, which might not be true in your case. So this is the world where we are living. um, I guess for today it's quite like nice to have these answers here. If you're still watching this session, let's go back and see. I can see one person still watching. One of the other questions that I frequently get in if you're living in Germany is that how to make friends in Germany. So maybe I can end this session by my last question is like how to make friends easily using Chat GPT. So let's see. Why am I even saying Chat GPT? Wait. Okay. Cancel. So how to make friends. This is a bummer of going live. How to make friends easily in Germany. Okay. Let's see what it replies. But that was a very funny reply he had. So, as a language model AI, I'm not capable of forming personal relationships, so good to know. But here are some tips on making friends using chat platforms. So, we are not talking about it. So, let's see what it will reply. How to make friend easily in Germany. And let's see how accurate it will reply. So, of course, I will be making videos on such questions over my personal experience on how you can do that. But I guess it will be just fun to ask ChatGPT and see what it replies. And then we are good to go and close this call. I can see more people joining this live session. So I have just asked ChatGPT very important question that how to make friend easily in Germany because it's quite difficult. Like if you are in a country, firstly in a country or even a city which where you haven't grown up and you didn't go to school or even to university, and it's just difficult to make friends. But then if you're in a totally foreign country, it gets more difficult with a like new language. You don't know where to socialize. So of course I do have my own tips. So if you want to know from me, you can always go and join like some communities and also some groups. So if you're a student, there are like several groups related to like swimming group or hiking group. You can always join those group. There are some events like stamp dish or even like open air concert or some other events where you can join as well and can meet people. So now I can see ChatGPT replying. So it says join social clubs and groups. So as I have said to you, looks like it's listening to me. Then attend cultural events and festivals. So there are also some groups on the Facebook related to like maybe Indians or Chinese. You can also attend their own events there. Then volunteer. So if you're volunteering, it also helps you to show that you are integrating into the city and can also help you to like meet similar type of people. So for example, I was recently in the university helping them with like related to ecological stuff, and I really met a lot of people. Then take language classes, so you can go and attend like German classes, right? So I'm really happy that even though these 2 points were quite generic, it has actually put focus here, taking German classes. So trying to adapt to my question to my needs here. Then attend networking events, use social media platforms. So I would suggest out of these social media platforms of Facebook and Meetup. Meetup is quite an interesting place, and Eventbrite is also another platform which I see here it's missing. So yes, ChatGPT, you have to learn a lot. Then be open-minded and friendly. One thing I have realized that if you are sometimes if in order to make friends you have to move out of your comfort zone, so you have to always maybe not just hang around with the Indians or Chinese or like people from your own community. Once you try to like deprive yourself from such community, you will by yourself will be more motivated to like reach out to whoever is available around, no matter what country they are from. And then that way you can be more open minded and can slowly see that you are connecting to more broader audience than people from your own native country. So these are the things. I guess ChatGPT has to elaborate on few things, and for that we still need humans like me. So I guess you have really enjoyed watching like me talking to ChatGPT, and yeah, I guess with this then. If you have no questions, I can then end this session. And if you still have any questions, you can put those questions in the comment section later as this video will go live. So yeah, so with this, I guess I will end my session. So thanks all of you, and I hope that you have got some information, found this video relevant and entertaining as well. And so there was like a third person. ChatGPT to me was like feels like it's a human being. So yeah, and I wish you a nice start to the next week, and I will then catch you next week at the same time for CET. So Central European Time, I will be live again. And so, yeah, till then, take care. Bye.